All right, we have a quorum. Mallory, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. Tonight's public meeting will be conducted utilizing Zoom video communications. This allows the city to conduct essential business and comply with public health administration recommendations to protect the public and city employees, to practice social distancing, and to limit exposure by not allowing in-person public meetings. To ensure that the public will be able to participate in our meeting, public comments can be submitted as live comments during Zoom meeting and via email at publiccomment@cityofglendora.org. Madam Clerk, will you please conduct roll call?
Thank you very much. At this time, I will conduct an oral roll call, and I request that each commissioner respond with a present when their name is called. Commissioner Gerber.
Present.
Commissioner Payugian.
Present.
Commissioner Chavez is not present. Vice Chair Louis Porche. You're muted.
You're mute.
I said it loud this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And great
And
job
then-
on the pronunciation. Yay.
Thank you very much. Chair Burrell.
Present.
Perfect.
Okay, now Commissioner Gerber, can I have you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Most definitely. Place your right hand over your heart. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all. Thank you. Does anyone wish to reorder or add to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay. Since there is none, we'll move on to public comment. I will now open the public comment period. I invite members of the public to address the Community Services Commission on items listed on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, speaking once both on and off agenda items. This is your time to speak uninterrupted. Please address your comments to me, the presiding officer. Public comment is limited to 30 minutes. If you would like to request to speak, select the raise hand icon in Zoom before the close of public comment period. You will then be called on when your turn is up to speak. Have any public comments been received?
No, we've received no written correspondence, and there are no requests from anybody in attendance.
Okay, seeing as there are none, I will close the public comment period and invite the commissioners to provide statements and reports. Commissioner Gerber, would you like to start?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Happy to be back again for another meeting. At this point, it's been a lot of fun in the past couple of weeks with everything going on in the city. Little League starting, Last League starting, daylight savings time. Everybody's out and about walking the streets now that it's lighter later. At this point, that's pretty much it. I'm just happy that spring is here, and I look forward to possibly being back in person next month and talking with the city council. They are planning to vote on whether or not we can go back into in-person meetings, and it looked like that might be a possibility. So if that happens, it will be awesome. But other than that, happy to see everybody's smiling faces.
Thank you. Commissioner Kiemjian?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Great to be here again. And as David said, it was great experiencing opening day with Little Leagues opening up. It was great being part of that, and enjoyable, and great to see everybody out. And it was very warm, and I was dressed very warm as well. So it was nice. So just a report on the Glendora Trails Council. I wasn't able to attend the last meeting. However, I do have the dates to announce for the hikes. So the day hikes, the summer hikes are, well, I'll go to the summer hikes, but first, starting with winter and spring hikes. February 26th at South Hills, March 26th, Little Dalton Canyon, April 30th at Colby and Colby Dalton Trail, May 28th at Big Dalton Canyon Trails. And then the summer hikes are going to begin on June 25th. The day hikes will be on June 25th, South Hills, July 30th in Little Dalton Canyon, and August 27th at Colby Dalton Trails. And Tuesday evening hikes will commence on June 14th, starting at 7:45 p.m. The first one will be at South Hills. And then the following month will be July 12th at Little Dalton Canyon, and that's at 7:30. And then August 9th will be Big Dalton Canyon at 7:15. So please get the word out and participate if you can. And that's all I have for my report and greetings this evening.
Thank you. Vice Chair Lewis-Boucher.
Thank you. I want to echo the sentiments of David and Eddie regarding the recent opening day ceremonies. I wasn't able to make day one, but it turns out that it was postponed to the following weekend, so that worked out perfectly for me and our family. We celebrated and participated. So very well coordinated. Great to see all the kiddies running around with their sports gear on and getting that opening day going. I want to especially thank John for being, as Mal calls him, the human walking Wikipedia of events and experiences. I don't think it would be the same if I didn't have all of the background history that you provide. So I just want to say thank you for being that for us. And I don't have an update on the La Fetra Center or any of the senior activities, but I can follow up with Debbie to see if there's anything that needs to be added to our agenda in the future. And then as far as the hikes go, Eddie, I wanted to know if those are posted somewhere. I almost want to say they're probably in the quarterly or the so they're in there for sure, right?
I believe they're posted on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'll double check on that.
Perfect. Thank you. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. And I echo everyone's sentiment that it was really fun to see each other in person and be outside in the sunshine, and just such an excitement from the families and the kids participating. And just a big thank you to all the staff, John, and your team. And that's a lot of work to get ready for those things, even though I know that baseball is not something you guys manage entirely, but it's still, there's always a lot of work for anything that we all show up at and stuff like that. So thank you for being our Wikipedia and the captain of the ship. It was just really fun to see everyone and have that excitement. And I have nothing else to add besides that. So I would like to now invite Community Services Director John Aguirre for his statement.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commission. We have a very busy end of March and all of April. We have our Camp Kahila Spring Break Camp, March 28th through April 1st. We are full for that camp, so they'll be up there that week. We have Glendora Trails Day, Saturday, April 2nd, 8 a.m. to 12:30 at South Hills Wilderness Park. So if you want to volunteer, help clean up those trails, you can go with our Trails Committee. They'll be up there cleaning some of the trails. And then we have the South Hills Visioning meeting, Saturday, April 9th. Time still to be determined. I would think probably 9 to 11 at the Crowther Teen and Family Center. We'll be there with Mayor Pro Tem Boyer and city staff, seeing what you want to see in the South Hills. If they want to do more mountain bike trails or more hiking trails, restrooms, BMX track, parking, picnic areas, they'll be going through some of those. And then the following weekend, we have our annual Easter egg hunt at Finkbeiner and Gladstone Park. We all have free pancakes there at both sites. Activities start at 9, face painting and stuff. And then the egg hunt starts at 10 a.m. sharp, and it's over within minutes. And then the following weekend, we have Glendora Earth Day here at the City Hall complex on the 23rd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We start off with our community bike ride, and then we have workshops, the shredding, used motor oil, children activities, bounce house, face painting, reptile shows, and then city booths with community partner booths and some vendor booths down on the lawn of City Hall. So we have almost, I believe, every weekend we're booked. It's a very busy April. And then a tentative grand opening for the playground right now is May 7th. It's a Saturday. We're going to start that work early April and hope to have it finished. And then we'll do a opening once we get everything ready. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Okay, now I'd like to request a motion to approve consent calendar item number 3 as presented.
I motion to approve.
Is there a second? Oh, thank you.
I have a motion by Vice Chair Louis Porcher and a second by Commissioner Gerber. All those in favor, I'll do a roll call vote very quickly. Commissioner Gerber,
Yes.
Commissioner Kayumji, sorry.
Kuyumjian.
Kayumjian.
Yes.
Kayumjian, thank you. Chavez is not here. And Vice Chair Louis Porcher,
Yes.
and then Chair Burrell.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay.
So we have one
now-
Four, I'm sorry,
Oh.
four with one absent, sorry.
Okay, now we're on to member agenda items, correct? I lost my spot.
New
Okay, so
business.
there are no, new business, yes. Unfinished business, new business, yes. Okay, so now, I'm sorry, the selection of the award recipients for the Kirkpatrick, Denim, and Harper Awards. I would like to invite Administrative Assistant Kelsey Fay to report.
Good evening, Commissioners. So annually, the Community Services Commission honors individual Glendorans for their outstanding volunteer service to the youth and senior citizens of our community. For this year, there are 3 nominations for the Kirkpatrick, 1 nomination for the Denim Award, and 1 nomination for the Harper Award. We're asking that the Commission look over the nominations that we've presented to you and select 1 winner for each award. Thank you, and this concludes my report.
Okay. Well, I think we can award the 2 that only had 1 nominee, I think, sort of without much discussion. How does everyone feel about that?
Perfect.
Okay with that.
So I think
Yeah.
that's the Denim and Harper Awards, right?
Correct.
Okay, so those will go to, I don't have it, hold on, let me find the,
Sharon Lewis and Clark Mason.
thank you. And so now we have just the Kirkpatrick to discuss. Okay, so
I have
now
a
with
question
that
on that one before we get into it. I've been looking at the nominations. One of them is in reference, one of them has references listed as that are kind of considered paid positions. Is that something that is worthy of consideration within this award?
I can answer that, Commissioner. It is on the award. It is for volunteer So in that, he does have some the American Little League, Lassie League, youth basketball, but I believe the rest for high school football and high school basketball, those are all paid, I believe, paid positions that Marcus Bryant has. So but he has some volunteer time. He's been with us coaching in that, but a lot of the other ones are paid as coaches for the high school and that.
I'm not trying to diminish his support and involvement within the committee. I was just kind of just getting a clarification. So thanks, John, on that, just based on really looking at overall individual participation and longevity, so to speak. So.
My question would be with regards to, do we actually have enough to vote on this if Brittany nominated one and David nominated another, and then we have one other person? If they abstain from the vote, then it's just me and Eddie, and is that enough?
That would be Kathleen. I would think I need help there, Kathleen.
So I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
So so we have 3 nominees.
Mhm.
One was nominated by Brittany, one
Okay.
was nominated by David Gerber, and then the
Okay.
other one was the one we were asking about, the paid position. So I'm wondering if the 2 of them, Brittany and David, abstained from the vote since they nominated people, then that leaves just me and Eddie and maybe they don't need to abstain. I'm just
So,
was assuming
I don't
that they
think they
probably would.
I don't think they need to abstain, because after you nominate these 3 people, we'll do actually a formal vote with a motion and a second, and then you'll vote together as a committee. Does that make sense?
So in
Doesn't
essence,
to me,
putting
Mel.
our.
So you're putting
if-
nominations, forward right now. So we have 2 nominations, and you can nominate a 3rd one, and then we'll do a vote.
Kathleen, I think to clarify, the 3 nominees that came in, like Brittany submitted one and David submitted one of the other ones. So I think they're wondering if they need to abstain from the vote because they are the like the sponsor of
The
the nominee.
sponsor.
Mhm.
I wouldn't think so, because their vote is only one person. I mean, John, have you had other people
Well-
sponsor before?
A lot of times our LaFetra Center sponsors the Ruth Harper because they
Yeah.
work there and they see those people. So they're always the sponsor for the Ruth Harper, but their staff not
Yeah,
on the commission. But I don't know if we've ever, a lot of times they do come from either I don't know if commission, I haven't seen that I can remember, but they have come from our youth sports groups and that,
so it's normally outside the commission.
Yeah, but they do references. They do provide 3 references, per vote. So I don't know if they would have had one of those people do it and they would have been a reference. We've had that too.
Now, the 3rd person you're talking about, was this person nominated by one of the commissioners?
No,
No.
he's
I
the
would
one that,
I
He
would
is-
say what we should do is let's just do it a 1-by-1 vote. We'll do a nomination for the one award, and we'll do a motion and a second and a vote. And then we'll do it each separately. That way the vote is very segregated.
okay.
So
So Mallory, if you want to take first the Ruth Harper and then the Buck Dunham.
Okay. I think I understand. Okay. Okay. I would, so
Is it- Is
So-
there a
sorry.
nomination for the Ruth Harper Award?
Yes, Sharon
Yes.
Lewis.
Okay,
So
and
I will
then I'm just,
I'll nominate Sharon Lewis for the Ruth Harper Award. So that I'm
Is-
nominating,
is
and then, so now we need a second.
I'll second.
okay. All those in favor say aye. Unmute yourselves.
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Seeing none, so that one carries. Okay. How about the Kirkpatrick Award?
Well, I would do Buck.
That's the,
Okay. Do the Denim or the Harper
Yes.
Award?
Dunham.
Okay. Are there any nominations for the Dunham Award?
I nominate J. Clark Mason.
All right. I'll second.
Jay. Okay, and all those in favor say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? No opposition. That one is appointed for, okay, and then the,
Can I ask a quick question
sure,
regarding when there's only one nominated? Has there ever been a case where we go back out and say, let's send out a second invitation for people? Maybe it was just bad timing, people missed it. Have you ever thought about doing that? You're
John, you're
muted.
muted.
We try, we talk about it at staff. And, you know, I know that we make calls to a lot of times the Boy Scout groups and we ask our, you know, people that know Boy Scout groups, because there's always willing or needed people that should get them, but it's just doing the paperwork. You know, I know with the youth sports, we used to ask and they're all, yeah. And here's the sheet and it's not that hard, but it never comes in. So we have done, you know, and that's why usually the LaFetra staff, because they work with them day in and day out, they're the ones that nominate the people. So if we can get, usually we're happy if we get one, we're ecstatic if we get more than that.
Okay, that's good to know. And then maybe having it an electronic version of the form
Okay.
might be something for future consideration. I think a Google Doc is a great opportunity to just seamlessly transition it over, and it might make it.
And in some years that ones don't win, we keep them and we, you know, can come up the next year or whatever.
So the final award is the Kirkpatrick. Are there any nominations?
I nominate. David, do you really want to do this? No.
I do. And the reason so I'll just give you some background. And the reason I nominated Bruce Hunt is, and Brittany, don't take this in any way, shape, or form, because I think what you wrote and what your husband is doing is fabulous and it's amazing. And we couldn't do anything in the city without individuals like that. This gentleman that I nominated, I've known for probably 12 to 13 years. And that's only about half the time that this gentleman has been a part of some sort of organization and coaching in this city. He's been doing this for close to 20 years. I was up at the Little League field yesterday picking up my son from practice, and lo and behold, where is he? Out on the field, on a pony field, coaching a team with no son on the team, with no preservation, just out there being with the kids. He's been with girls, with his daughters in Lassie League and basketball. He's done baseball with his sons. And now it's even carried over that his youngest son is in high school and is no longer affiliated with any of these leagues. He continues to be somebody that is giving back to the community. And having done it for the amount of time that he's done it, that is, and the amount of people that he's touched because of the longevity, that's why I brought it to the board, to us to vote. And like I said, I'm not trying to lobby one way or another. I'm just telling you why I provided that, and the fact that, I mean, you can, I'll leave it at that, because I could go hours and talking about what he's done and accomplished. It's not necessarily all about that. It's about the fact that he will probably continue to do this for the next 5 to 10 years, as long as he physically can. He will always continue to be out there on the fields, and recognizing him at this point, while his kids are still around and young enough to be able to see him be recognized before they're all married off and gone, is something that, you know, because as a kid, you don't appreciate what your parents are doing while you're here, while you're there. You only get it after the fact. And so this is something that I felt very strongly about. And Brittany, by all means, feel free to chime in on your nomination and your husband, because I am no means I'm trying to, you know, diminish anything in any way for what your husband is doing. So
I totally appreciate that, David. And I think that you did a tremendous job of explaining those background details. I put my earpiece in because it was actually a surprise that I nominated my husband. And I tried to be as unbiased as possible and write from a far distant position, but it was very hard not to dive into a personal connection and watching his leadership over the years, which really truly spanned prior to us coming to Glendora. My husband played football, played basketball, was very, very active in the community, which we lived in prior to this, Monrovia, has a long-standing history of being a pillar in the community, so much so that he's gone on to mentor and actually help to get some of these young minds employed, permanently employed through AT&T and other companies, helping to provide for their families. So I'm really proud of that aspect. And then when it comes to here being in the community, if there's a need, he will fill it. In fact, just this past weekend, we celebrated our teams. He does 3 teams. So most people coach 1 team. He coaches 3. And if you've ever coached a team, that means 3 different practices. That means 3 different game times. That means 3 different team parties, which is chaotic. And he does it all with grace. And this past weekend, we had one of our players actually get hospitalized. And I saw him go out of his way to make sure that player felt uplifted, had the team sending information and get well cards. And so I think that I could go on and on and on. I think that it's such a wonderful award to have the opportunity to even apply for. But just the fact that I got to nominate him really made my day. So yes, all the candidates are amazing. I agree with you, David. It's a hard competition, but I will have to say I am going to go ahead and nominate the one that I selected.
Real quick question. Have we ever given the award to 2 people? Is that allowed?
I can look at the trophy right here in my office. I know we have for the Ruth Harper, we've done it. So I don't think there's anything against giving the 2. It would just be that we would have to go to 2 different spots to do that.
Is that a motion action? Does that?
I can't make.
It sounds like we can make that motion.
Okay. Can
Yeah.
It sounds
we
like
request
from what
a
John-
motion to give it to 2 nominees? Or I would like to request someone make that motion.
I will make that motion to nominate 2 nominees to, what's the award? The Kirkpatrick Award.
Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
I'll second that motion. Great suggestion.
Thank you, Eddie, for saving you and I from a very,
Yes.
very difficult decision.
All right, so we have a motion and a second, and all those in favor say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Seeing none, motion carries 4-0, noting one absent.
Just to let you know,
Okay.
Bruce Hunt was my quarterback in high school. I've known Bruce. I played on a youth basketball team. His dad was my first coach in youth basketball in 5th grade. So I've known Bruce and Brian, his brother, since then. And great guy. The one thing he has trouble is signing up on time for youth basketball. He was always late. And I used to give him a hard time, but he's a great guy. Both of them will do the proud, the name proud for the Kirkpatrick Award.
Well, and I think it's just like, I mean, obviously we don't want to be, running ourselves ragged, showing up at things, but I just think to have two such impassioned descriptions of people in our community doing things for kids, especially in a time like now, to be able to spread the recognition around to, people really making a difference instead of saying like, okay, well, we'll get to them next year because we've learned we don't know about next year. So I'm quite pleased that we are going to be able to nominate 2 people. So on that note, I would like to open the floor to nominations to actually, of the 2 people we can give it to. I think that's the next step, right?
I think you already voted.
You already
correct?
did.
Did we already vote?
You're
Okay.
good.
I thought we were just voting on if we could give it to
No.
2 people. Okay,
No.
no. Then yeah, we're good.
You're
Okay.
good. You're good.
Oh, well then I'm just rambling for no reason. I lost my spot on the talking part, and now I'm just trying to fill time. Okay. So now we are moving on to
Item 4.
I would like to invite Community Services Director John Aguirre to report on the semi-annual strategic plan update.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commission. I'm here tonight to give an update for the strategic plan goals and objectives 2020 to 2023. Next slide, please. Next slide, too. Okay, thank you, Catherine. A little background. That one, yes. A little background. In July of 2020, the City Council, City staff, City Attorney, and representatives from city boards and commissions met to discuss the city's current 2019 to 2022 strategic plan. The meeting focused on long-term COVID-19 recovery and the importance of aligning future objectives and tasks with the upcoming creation of the fiscal year 2021 through 2023 2-year budget. In October of 2020, the city adopted the strategic plan for fiscal year 2020 to 2021 through fiscal year 2022 to 2023. Next slide, please. The strategic plan came out with 6 points for goals and objectives. First one, to increase financial stability and sustainability, enhance and modernize the organization, improve and maintain the city infrastructure and facilities, implement strategic economic development, enhance employee development and retention, and implement strategic homeless solutions. Next slide, please. The city, as you can see, adopted 62 objectives to be considered over our next 2 years. As you can see, the financial had 8, modernization 26, infrastructure 9, economic development 6, homeless 9, and employees 9 and homeless 3. Next slide, please. Thank you. Community Services Department, we're assigned some of these tasks. Our first one was the explore childcare and recreation opportunities for children during COVID-19. We worked with the school district and identified the Teen Center as our first joint project to assist education and childcare needs. Glendora Unified School District provided staffing, and the city provided cleaning the facility and the space for 20 to 30 middle school and high school students, and that ended in May of 2021. Next slide, please. Modernization, as you guys know, we worked on the Medal of Merit with this commission. The council asked the commission to come up with the design of the Medal of Merit Award and present it to council. At the April 2021 council meeting, city council approved the design and the policy. Next slide, please. Glendora, one back I might be. Sorry, Kathleen. Yes, that was my fault. Glendora Unified School District, the MOU, the city of Glendora and the Glendora Unified School District work together to come up with an agreement for both our Glendora Youth Soccer and Glendora Youth Basketball for the use of the facility and restrooms. Staff is still working to complete the overall MOU with both parties. And then provide enhanced activities for seniors and youth. For our seniors, staff continues to offer the drive-through nutrition program and the food bank distribution program, along with updating the senior times with more interactive games and puzzles. For the youth, with recreation and teen staff provided different outdoor classes during COVID. The Teen Center Hangout went outside, youth hikes, active kids club, outdoor activity club, just to name a few. Next slide. For the infrastructure, we're evaluating all our facility needs. We're looking to go out to bid to hire a consultant to look at ways to modernize and to look at our technology needs for the future of all our city facilities. The Gladstone splash pad and renovation. At this time, the splash pad has been put on hold due to the drought. This is the second time that it's been on hold. But our parks program, our park playground program will begin early next month, like we stated. And then the water tank there at Gladstone is on the agenda of next council agenda to be demolished, and with a new parking lot, and that we're hoping that starts in May or June. Next slide, please. Homeless. This was added during that meeting. So this has been a big work of our LaFetra Center. The development of a sub-regional homeless housing program. Our staff worked with the County of Los Angeles and LAHSA to provide funding, both capital and operational, for future projects. Staff also worked with the cities of San Dimas, Laverne, and Claremont, but we were unable to come up with to gain assurances on our project from each city. So that has been kind of pushed back a little bit, but the projects that seem to have taken a back seat because they're now doing a blue ribbon committee for homeless. Our city manager and assistant city manager testified to the blue ribbon committee in November of 2021, and that testimony has been utilized to draft recommendations, which include more funding to local agencies. The update homeless strategic plan, staff is working with the County of Los Angeles, LAHSA, and the San Gabriel Council of Governments to determine if additional Measure H funding are available for these projects. The homeless initiative has changed their numbers strategically to simplify the process. However, in the interim, our city has completed a community survey on homelessness. We provided our own point in time count. We didn't go. We've done two. We did one on our own and then one with LA County, and to better understand the city's homeless community and their needs. And then the last one there, supplementing homeless operations. In August of 2020, the LA County Department of Mental Health partnered with our community services to address mental health issues. In September of 2020, the MET team, which is the mental evaluation team, was back up and running, patrolling interactions while the grant fundings are still available. Our Human Services Division / homeless staff, Glendora Police Department, the MET team, LAHSA, Union Station, are now having monthly meetings with LA County Department of Mental Health. We have about 10 to 12 individuals that are homeless and have severe mental health problems. So we are additional to that, we are operating, the city is undertaking regular encampment cleanups, mainly in the South Hills, and offering services to those individuals that we move out. The city is also in the process of purchasing a van to assist with transportation and service deliveries. We're also looking for a long-term agreement with motels for access to emergency beds, and looking for a change of service providers from Union Station to a company that can access to a guaranteed number of emergency shelter beds. So that's what we've been doing. All our work is ongoing. So we try to check off some of the boxes as we do the strategic plan. And next slide, if you have any questions.
Thank you, John, for that. And I wanted to ask if South Hills is connected, I don't think it is, but to Louis Pompey. I recently noticed it looks like there's a pretty massive encampment back there.
What happens, the South Hills, the freeway intersects there, but you can go right past South Hill, right past the park in South Hills. The train goes underneath. So that's how they have access, and then they come back on the other side where they can get into the park. But there is big encampments on that side. We've had fires there. There's another one now as you make the curve off the 210 to the 57 freeway. There's a big encampment right there. Those are all on Caltrans. So our staff our police department has been working with Caltrans also, and our staff. We do a lot of the cleanup on our part, and then we help with Caltrans and LA County Department of Power, because they have land there too, working to do the cleanups.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, John, just a couple questions. You said emergency beds. What is the goal? How many emergency beds does the city require or need?
Right now we're housing, I think, 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
And sometimes it's, 1 or 2 nights to see, and then wait for services that we can call in our others to get services. So it fluctuates. I know some other cities, the city of Laverne, like they have 2 or 3 beds at the city of Pomona's shelter. So there is some companies that, have 4 to 5 beds here and there, some not in the city, but able to place certain ones for a certain amount of time until they can get services.
Okay.
So it could be anywhere from, 1 bed to 4.
Okay. And is there an agreement or an MOU between cities? Let's say a certain city has more beds than the other. If it's available.
Pomona built a big structure and they filled up really quick. There's Tri-City, which is Claremont, Pomona, Laverne. They were able to use and get their beds through Pomona. So there's not Pomona, remember calling us, telling us, quit sending your homeless here. Keep them in your own town. Because sometimes we were, dropping them off at the doorstep and say, hey, go over there. And it used to be a big play that way. And Claremont, they've built some other housing for the homeless. But that's the big thing here in San Gabriel Valley. We are very shy of homeless beds.
Yeah. All right. And then one last thing, you mentioned the water tank that the city is going to take on. Is that water tank empty? Has it not been utilized?
Been empty for 20 some years.
Oh, wow.
And so it needs a lot of cleanup. I guess it had contaminations. It's through our Irwindale well.
Right.
But they're going to keep the bottom base of it, collapse everything in, make our parking lot bigger. But if they ever had to, they would go back and dig it up and make a new well there, or make a new water storage there.
Oh, got it. Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me. Any other questions? Can I request a motion to receive and file a report?
Motion.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Gerber, a second by Vice Chair Louis Porcher, and I will conduct a roll call vote. Commissioner Gerber,
Yes.
Commissioner Cumjian,
Kumjian.
Cumjian,
Yes,
I apologize.
no
Cumjian.
worries.
Vice Chair Louis Porcher
Yes.
and Chair Burrell.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0, noting that Commissioner Chavez is absent. 4-0, noting that Commissioner Chavez is absent.
Okay, now I'd like to invite each member and staff, or each commissioner and staff member to make closing comments. Commissioner Cumjian, would you like to go first?
Yes. Well, thank you for the information tonight, John and staff. And look, actually, I had one other comment. Is there any update on in-person meetings? I know that I believe the City Council was taking that on.
So the City Council is going to be actually meeting on the 22nd of March
Okay.
to discuss. And once we receive the direction there, we'll be sending an email out to everybody, letting them know what was decided. And then most likely what we're anticipating, we'll be reaching out to you to schedule a training opportunity in the council chambers, so you guys could get a refresher course on the equipment in there. We're probably going to schedule those to happen prior to your next meeting, if that works into everybody's schedule. But again, I'll be sending, as soon as I get council's direction, I'll send an email out to each of the boards and we'll get that all scheduled.
Got it. All right. Thank you for that. And so, yeah, I just wish everybody a great month, and please go out there and hike, enjoy the city, and support the city with your tax dollars. Appreciate it, and have a great month.
Thank you. Commissioner Gerber, closing comment?
Thank you, Chair. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. I see green still on a few of us this evening. Just means some of you haven't had the chance to go home and relax. But again, John, kudos to you and your staff. Quite a few number of objectives achieved in a very stringent world that we've been in over the past 2 years. And looking forward to some of the opportunities that you have moving forward. Looking forward to the park renovation, even the tennis court renovation when that gets going. A lot of fun things happening in the city that you guys and your staff have continued to do. And other than that, sentiments to what Eddie said, looking forward to getting out and enjoying the springtime and seeing everybody out in the city. As I said, now that the daylight savings time has been there, being out, you see so many people out and about, walking the streets, and the downtown seems to be just thriving off of what we've enhanced it with due to COVID. So a positive out of a negative there. And the city is really starting to revitalize and regenerate, and it's really exciting to see. So other than that, I look forward to seeing you guys all in person. And Eddie and Brittany, yeah, you're going to have to take a little crash course, because it's a little bit different inside than watching everybody on a little screen at the comforts of your own home. So make sure you definitely go and take a fun little tour. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Louis Porcher, closing comments?
Thank you, Chair Brill. And I have to first, second, and third, Eddie and David, your sentiments. This has been a wealth of knowledge and information. It always is. I look forward to these meetings. Definitely feels great to get to know what's the plan for the city and hearing all of the upcoming events. I know my kids are thrilled about Easter returning. That's a highlight in this family. So it's good to hear that those things are coming back again. David, I'm shaking in my boots about in-person support. I did wonder, are there any other people that would not mind staying virtual, or has that been part of the dialogue? I love the convenience that it provides, but obviously nothing beats seeing you in person. But yeah, if there could be a hybrid, I'd vote for that.
Brittany, it's a lot of fun inside the chamber. Don't be fooled. It's a lot of fun.
But I won't be able to
Although,
wear the bottom.
yeah, can we wear our slippers? Because I'm wearing slippers.
Exactly. So, yes, Eddie, I am determined to go on a hike, but only if you go. So this shall be a group effort. Hopefully in the future we can all get together and do that.
Sure, we have to set a date, pick a date. Yeah.
Awesome. But Kelsey, Kathleen, John, everybody on the team, thank you for all the work that you put into this. It has not gone unnoticed. Looking forward to the shirts. I saw that. Yay, Mal, put that out there. And John, you just 2 seconds and you jumped on it. So Kelsey, sizes have been sent. We're ready. We're excited. Thank you.
We're going to need it with all of our award giving outs and ribbon cuttings coming up, which is just very exciting. All of the things that you guys were able to get in the pipeline during COVID. And now that we're kind of reaching the other side of the tunnel, that, we have all of these kind of new shiny toys and awards to give and just feel good community stuff. So thank you all for your hard work. And John, do you have any comments? I skipped
No
you.
comments. I'm good.
Okay, if that is all, I would like to adjourn this meeting at 7:51.
Perfect. Thank you so much.